ಯಾವ ಪೇಜ್ ಗುರುಗಳೇ, ಯಾವ ಶ್ಲೋಕ?
282 ಶ್ಲೋಕಂ.
282.
For me, 45. So we are now fortunate enough to continue our study, Parayanam, regarding Bhagavatam on a most auspicious day, Sri Ramanavami, the happy birthday of Rama, who is the avatar, pure Manava avatar of Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu has so many manifestations and many divisions. So for the sake of sustenance and maintenance of the creation, Vishnu has got lot of solutions, lot of problems. So in that spree, you find that Narayana absolutely became a man, Manava Avatara, in order to put out Ravana. That is one avataram. But when there was also a problem, Manava Rupa Rakshasas. In Dwapara Yuga, they have cropped up demons or Rakshasa Vritti or Tamasa Vritti creation, where they are all looking like human beings, but they have got a great deal of wild atrocities, wild himsa, and also lot of cheating, lot of anyayam, lot of dharma nasha, etc. They are there like Kamsa, Jarasandha, like that Shishupala. Well, you know, these are all the great here. They are all very handsome, loyal people, but they have the Rakshasa Vritti. So in this in the Bhagavatam, we have the sport of Krishna, Bhagavan, who has to face and quell down all sorts of Manava Rupa Rakshasas. And so in that spree, we had also the Hiranyakasipu, and Narasimha Avataram was there for Narayana, and he destroyed. And now we are in the section or in a context where there was a talk given by Narada after the talk by Prahlada, who advised all his colleagues and friends how should they conduct and give up their Rakshasa Vritti. And in the 278, the concluding sloka or speech by Prahlada, it is noted, we have been given the impression that Gnanam tade tadakhilam duravapamahu Narayano narasakaha kila naradaya ekantinam Bhagavata Saptasati Padaravindarajasa plutadehinam syatu. So, beautiful gnanam, appropriate gnanam, which is very hard for people to get. Duravapam ahu. That what is the gnanam that we are to have? It is only the Narayana is not enemy to anybody. Narayana is absolutely a friend for human beings. See, second line, Narasakaha Nakila Narayana. So, Krishna was a companion, friend to Arjuna, and likewise to Narada, and therefore he remains a friend when people are adopting to float in the dust of the Padaravinda of Narayana. That is bhakti. So when people are ridden with bhakti, to them Narayana remains constantly a friend. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎ ఫ్రెండ్? స్నేహితుడు ఎవరు అంటే, ఎ ఫ్రెండ్ ఇండీడ్ ఈజ్ ఫ్రెండ్ వెన్ హీ ఈజ్ ఇన్ నీడ్. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ నీడ్ ఈజ్ దేర్, if a person comes to your help, that friend is called indeed friend. There are so many friends, but a friend. That's why Narayana is a truthful friend to all people. Padaravinda Rajasa Plutadehinam and Ekantikanam and Bhagavata Tadakinchananam Narayana Kila Narasakaha. So if you want Narayana to be your friend, there should be absolute bhakti, dedication to him. Then Narayana will provide you the gnanam necessary to you. So this is the last words of Prahlada, concluding his speech to all the Rakshasa colleagues afterwards. Now we have also noted the Narada's speech, that Narada begins in 279. Swarnam yatha gravasu hemakaraha kshetreshu yogaihi tadabhigna apnuyat kshetreshu deheshu tata atma yogaihi adhyatmavit brahmagatim labheta. So when we are all born as human beings, what is the goal for us? Shankaracharya said, Kastvam koham kutayataha tadihab chintaya prataha. Oh brother, please consider answers to this question. Kastvam, who are you? Not BA, BSc, PhD, BCom, officer, director, no. Who are you? Adhyatmic way. And kutayataha, what is the purpose that you are being given opportunity upon the earth to be born again? So that's why even Janma is common. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells us that Vidhi me Janma Guna Karma Vibhagasaha, or Janma Karma cha me Vidhi. So Janma Vidhi, Karma Vidhi, Mama. So gods are also born like any other creatures, but every creature has got the distinction of karma and also janma. Like that, in the 279, Atma Yogaihi Adhyatmavitu Brahmagatim Labheta. So Narada says you have to be a person filled with the knowledge of Adhyatma. The Atma Shakti is simply important and great. In Devi Durga Saptasati, in the 4th chapter, at the very outset, when the gods started praising Amma, after Mahishasura was being killed, then they say, "Oh Durga Parameswari, with your own Atma Shakti, you have created the entire creation. And those people who go astray in the creation, all of them have been taken to Kajal again with the power of your own self, Atma Shaktiya." So here, Atma Shakti is one and Atma Yoga another. Atma Yoga is a laboratory job. Atma Shakti is a classroom job. Correct, Andy? So Atma Shakti is a classroom lecture. And Atma Yoga is the practical laboratory job. In the sense that you have to practice. Whatever theoretical knowledge on yoga you learn, that you have got to practice, because only through experience you will be able to realize the truths about it or rewards about it. Therefore, Narada said, Atma Yogaihi Adhyatmavitu Brahmagatim Labheta. Brahmagati means the way how the Brahma manipulates the whole world, how Brahma will give you way out to reach him. And for that, in 280 sloka, we have noted already, there are 8 prakrutis and there are 3 ahita gunas and there are shodasa vikaras and but all these different differentiations can be outwitted by the guidance of the acharyas. So shodasacharyayi Puman ekaha samanvayat. So you have to make a samanvaya of all these factors or disparities, and that will be a part of Atma Yoga. In other words, the simple problem is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsaryas are the gunas which are ahita, which will not be hita to you when they are promoted more and more. If you keep them under control, then you will be a normal being. Generally people will have, some people will have kama, more, krodha, more, moha, more, lobha, etc. Then in 281, we are given the scope that deha sarvasanghatah jagataha tastuhu iti dvidha atraiva mrugyaha purushaha neti neti iti asatyajan. ఎంత బాగుందంటే ఇక్కడ look at it. He says body is, what is the nature of the body? Sarva sanghataha. As long as we have the body, it is desirous of having associateship with any and everything. And in other words, Sariramu, the human body, is only one body which can acclimatize. It can stay, it can live in any climate and in any circumstance. That kind of adjustability, adaptability is there for human beings, not for any other being. For example, if you take the fish out of water, it will die. If you bring a lion and put in circus cage, robbing its freedom, that's also a unfortunate thing. Therefore, here says, Kim dehaha, what is the definition for body? The definition for body is sarvasanghataha dehaha. Deha is adaptable for any and everything. And all those people who have the body, they live in the jagat. They live in the samsaram. They live in the world. But then what is that world? Tastuhu jagataha dvidha samsaram. See, the samsaram contains 2 varieties. 1, stable, 2, unstable. So stable and unstable both constitute what you call as the samsara or jagat. And deha idmale, what is that you have got to do? Purushaha deha. What is deha? A man or a woman is called purusha. And that purusha's main job is only to find out the reality or the Brahmagati. Brahmagati ఏమిటి అని కనుక్కోవడమే పురుషుని యొక్క టార్గెట్. మిగతా whatever other targets you keep it, they're all temporary. They do not give you real benefits. So it is said, Krishna, Narada tells, Atraiva mrugyaha. Mrugyaha means to be searched after. All research is there possible upon the earth. Devatalu em research cheyaru. If they got problem, they go straight to Narayana and ask for solution. But in Bhulokam, the administrative framework is quite different. And if at all you want to have some benefit, you have to make research. Therefore, that Mrugyaha is a research temperament. Those who have got that kind of research or finding out temperament, they will not much depend upon others. If all tins are there in a shelf, and once if you are shown the content of a particular tin, you can remember and then go to that and get that commodity. So that's exactly what is called a Mrugyam. Mrugaha is animal in the forest or creatures. And all people are being hunted after. And the Purusha, what he has to do, the simple thing is, neti neti ti asatyajan. Sakti is reality. Sati is Parabrahma. Sati is the Paramatma. But in order to cloud that Sat, there is Asat. Sadva, Idagra, Asa. So first of all, there was Sat. But when there is Sat, Asat also got joined with it. But Asat is more attractive than the Sat. అంటే existence చూడటం అనేది చాలా important. But what existence you see is not really a reality. There is something, and all existence will disappear, perishable. They don't remain. Therefore, among things, there are perishable things and non-perishable things. For example, grapes is a perishable fruit. Apple is not as much perishable as grapes. Am I correct? Look at this example. Therefore, here, when you have a form or body, then what is that your search? Mrugyaha is search. Then what is your search? You have to search, not being satisfied with attaining one or two things. And the truth is always to be sought after. For example, in Taittiriya Samhita, Taittiriya Upanishad, in Bhruguvalli, what is that? Annam pranam mano, etc. Brahmeti. The teacher tells him, tapasa brahma vichignasasva, tapo brahmeti. That means whenever he found pranam is Brahma and annam Brahma, etc., then the Guru said, no, that is not Brahma. Na. So this neti neti vada is Advaita vada. Unless you have that kind of neti vada, you will not come into the Advaitam. Dvaitam means two things. Two things will always give you doubt and scope for choice. So Advaita means no choice. So Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmaiva Aham, Na Paraha, etc. These are all Mahavakyas. To get on to that kind of goal, one has got to use the formula na. Even that Nasadiya Sukta in Rigveda is also a creation legend. Creation Sukta, Bhagavad Purusha Sukta, Hiranyagarbha Sukta, Nasadiya Sukta are very prominent ones in Rigveda. And after all, the Bhagavatam is not at all away from the Vedic knowledge. And Bhagavatam is a Vedanta text. So, Anta Vedanta means what? Ultimately, what essence you are able to derive from the knowledge imparted through the Vedas. Some So here,
I have a question, sir. Can I ask you? There
yes,
are three sentences, correct? One is aham jivosmi. Then aham atmos, yeah, atmosmi.
Jivatma and
Atmas.
Paramatma and Atma.
Then brahmosmi, correct? Aham brahmosmi.
Yeah. You see, the Atmas are also have got varieties. Have got, for example, Atma, just body. If you don't go to school,
Jivosmi is a body, na? Only jivosmi when we say it
Atma is
is only
just
the
body,
body.
has no associates. But that body cannot remain like that only, because it wants sanghata. You understand? Deha sanghata. Chinna papa undi. The baby, when once it picks up the legs and the hands, independent, standing and moving, it cannot remain with mother. It wants doll, toy. And as the toys are supplied more and more, the baby will not cry and baby will not bother the parents. Is it not? But that means sanghata is what is important. So when you are supplying more and more the mundane things, ultimately he becomes detached with the parents who have given him birth. The present tendency is generally after marriage, man and woman are changing, is it not? Especially with reference to their parents. And there are hardly, very rare indeed, where you find where the in-laws and parents are looked after with the same attitude. But sanghata brings changes in the individuals. But if you want to have the satsangata, if you want to get rid of the asat sanghata, but normally we always mistake unreal as real and real as unreal. That is very much experienceable when you are seeing the picture or cinema. Cinema anta abadhamu mosam. The relationship that you find in the picture or drama, they are not true relations. After drama, they are independent and separate, is it not? So, like that, what is it? What is na iti asattu tyaga. Unless you realize that it is not permanent, it is temporary, it is not reality, and you are having, then you are on the Brahmagati Marga. Brahmagati, and the journey towards Brahman. And in order that, what you have got today is, you have to have this kind of formula, that negation, denial. You have to
So
deny.
when you say aham brahmasmi,
Aham brahmasmi. Yeah, I understand.
What is that?
Aham,
So
I am
what-
Brahman. Basically, I am Sat. But you have got to realize and establish that you are Brahma. For that, you must want a guru to put you on the track. So, Brahmagati, you understand? Atma yogaihi Brahmagatim labheta. Who can get that kind of Brahmagati? Adhyatma vitu. Anybody who has got the graduation knowledge in respect of the knowledge about our own self. It is not anatomical knowledge, but you have got to have a Vedantic knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Deho devalaya proktaha jivo devaha sanatanaha chajet agnana nirmalyam soham bhavena pujayet. You must have heard this sloka where, so I am Brahma, I am superior, I have higher principles to go after, I am higher than what I am realizing and experiencing.
So when you say I am Brahma, means what you are saying?
I am Brahma. When you say that I am Brahma, means you are superior basically in you. But how much superiority is there? how much good qualities are there. You have got to understand, practice, and experience it. Guna, we have got sattva, rajas, tamo gunas are there. Already said, there are, see, gravasu hemakaraha swarnam pasyati. In stones, a researcher, a goldsmith finds only gold. Gold is an ore. From the ore, which is stone, gold also has got to be cultured and picked out, and the remaining to be given away. Ornament చేసేటప్పుడు వేస్ట్ అని చెప్పి దానికి కూడా డబ్బులు వేసుకుంటాడు స్వర్ణకారుడు. The jeweler will also collect money for the waste while preparing the ornament for you. So like that, hemakaraha gravasu swarnam. And again here, let us not go deeper. Simply neti neti iti asat tyajan. Asat and sat. Sadva agra asit. Asadva agra asit. So Upanishadullo, Vedantanlo, ఎందుకంటే భాగవతము, భగవద్గీత, ఉపనిషత్తులు. And also Bhagavatam is again Bhagavad Gita. And Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutras. So they are all giving you the important information to get on to the vehicle of spirituality. Yantrarudha, Yogarudha, and Adhyatmarudha anustund. Arudha ante, we are all passengers. When vehicle is there, when you sit in the vehicle, when the vehicle is moving, you move with that vehicle, is it not? అందుకే ఈ జర్మన్ లోపల ఏమంటారంటే ఇస్ జమ్ పార మిట్ అని చేస్తారు. ఐ గో విత్ ది వెహికల్ అంటారు. మనం ఏం చేస్తాం, మన భాష లోపల ఐ గో ఇన్ ది వెహికల్ అంటాం. రైల్లో పోతామంటాం. రైల్లో పోవడము, రైలుతో పోవడానికి డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంది. సో లైక్ దట్ హియర్ ఏకః ఏం చేయాలి, అసత్తు హీ హ్యాస్ టు గివ్ అప్ త్యజన్. That tyaga is there. What tyaga is there? Asat tyaga. For example, another example I give you, when all Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, Swattama, all are very important, respectful people for Arjuna. But Krishna is trying to give him this smriti, though they are your kith and kin, but they have come to fight with you as enemies. They are all Shatrus. When Shatru is calling you for fight, you have got to give up all sentiments. Is it not? Like that, asatyajan neti neti is the formula, solution. And what is the way out? Mrudyaha Atraiva. Atraiva means upon the, when you hold life in the body, when you hold the adhyatmic knowledge in the body, when you pick up that more and more, are you understanding? When you pick up that adhyatmic jnana more and more through gurus and experience, yoga practice, then you will be able to get on to the Sat Jnana. Sat means Satchidananda. Oh, he is Purusha Paramatma. He is Sat, and Chit and Ananda is one thing. And another definition of Paramatma is Chidananda. And another thing is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. కొంచెం వెనక్కి వెళ్ళిపోవాలి. ఈ బ్రహ్మగతి అన్నప్పుడు ఈ బ్రహ్మగతి లోపల వాట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ ది బ్రహ్మగతి? Brahma Satyam, truth. Gnanam, knowledge. Anantam, infinity. Am I going tangential, Amma? So you just ask.
No, you're not going. I'm like, trying to understand. I have three things. I am this body. I am this soul. So that is very easy to understand that I am not this body. I am this soul. It is easy to, at least like, after association with all of you, now I understand I am a soul. I am not this body. But when you say I am Brahman, so that the between like I am the soul and I am the Brahman, it seems there is a lot of journey to I have to do to understand what is that.
Soul
So
is
I'm just
one.
trying to
I think,
understand that.
I think soul in Vedanta, soul is the material for us to culture it, to enlighten it, and make the soul realized. Soul, we tell is self-enlightenment, self-enlightenment, self-realization, self-attainment, and self-emancipation. So when you talk all these words, అంటే ఆత్మను అందుకే దాన్ని సాయుధ్యము, సారూప్యము, సమానత్వము, సలోకం. All these are the steps or folds in moksha. Mokshamu ante, it doesn't mean complete disappearance from the birth and all that. So you have got to get opportunity to completely eradicate that. In Bhagavatam, we have seen, I think further, the stomach of Vishnu has got 3 tires. And all people are pushed into these 3 tires depending upon their activity while they are living before Pralayam. During Pralayam, nobody, Narayaniyam you come across. In Narayaniyam, Bhattatari tells us that where goes the creation when Pralayam were to start, when annihilation were to start, all the creation is taken into the stomach of Narayana. And those people who are ready to get emancipation result, they will be in the first tire. Those who have got mixed thing, that is koncham punyam, koncham papam, and still they have got some opportunity, they will go to the second tire. And those people who cannot be allowed to be reborn but suffer more and more in hell. Shashwata narakavasa. And janma rakunda suffer ayye vallandaru third tire lo vellipotaru. So when the pralayam is over, Narayaniyamlo inko choda Bhagavatamlo vastundi, and the whatever yathapurvam akalpayatu. So all those people who are hidden or contained in the stomach of Narayana will be projected. As a result, everybody born will be projectile. And no projectile can remain on the circumference of the life constantly. When once the purpose of the projectile is over, it will sink back to the point of projection. Antadu Vivekananda. So it is true. Manamendaru ekkadiki vellipovali? When we are doing some shraddha karmas, what we say, mama samasta pitrunam shashwata brahmaloka vaptirastu antam. Ante mana dwara the departed souls, not bodies, the departed souls must get higher eligibility to go to brahmaloka and also miss the opportunity to be born. Puttalante chala punyam cheyali. It is not easy to get the body, and that too a body of significance. Human body is the most significant body or birth. Mahata punya panyena kritam manusham sariram antadu. See, by paying heavy price, we have got the human life. So like that, this Narada, who is a realized soul, Devarshi, he is telling that what is the work that we have got upon the world? Mruganam, Mrugyaha, ante search. Andike Valmiki in Ramayana tells you that Vyaktam Anveshate Bhuyaha is Ramayana. Vyaktam Bhuyaha Anveshate. What is there clear in the nature? What is that you try to research and find out? If you use పసుపు యూస్ చేస్తే ఇది యాంటీబయాటిక్ అని మన ఇండియన్లో అందరూ తెలుసు. ముఖానికి పసుపు పూసుకుంటారు, కాళ్ళకు కూడా పసుపు పూసుకుంటారు ఆడవాళ్ళు. Because that is meant much for the woman's situation and context, body. but men won't apply it because there is that kind of differences. And also in our own kitchen, I mean preparations menu, we use it. But this is purely Indian for a long time. Now Western countries, they realize the importance of pasupu. They are now preaching the important utilization of the pasupu. Oh, Americans have started using haldi. So we also use an muttalu board in India. See, what is important, we always value. What is indigenous, we neglect. Every day Surya Bhagavan is there in India. But there, even 1 week, we don't see in Western countries. But here we never salute him at all. That's why, neti neti asat tyajan. So what is the journey of work or work in our life? And if you are given a span of 4 decades, 5 decades, or 7 decades, during the decade, apart from all the samsaric activity, you should also have come research activity. What is that research activity? To get on to the Brahmagati, to the national highway leading to Brahma. That UPS is only Brahma, you should type and then put it on, not anybody's address. The Brahma address, it is really subtle. Therefore, atraiva mrugyaha. Why we should have that kind of focus means the human body, when you have got a body, it has got a tendency for adopting any and everything. See, in Western countries, ladies are wearing saris and going to temple, while Indians are going with different dress to temple. I mean, like that we see that difference. So that adaptation is natural and normal to humans. But in that, you should know that you should always pick up that which is asat. Sat is natural, prakriti. Asat is unnatural. Is it not? So we should try to, Ayurveda is natural. And all of the allopathy and other medicines are different. Because people say that Ayurveda is always though slow, but gives you holistic results. So, Purushaha na iti. 2 times it said, neti neti, understand? So, when you see something not, but still you get tempted to that thing to adopt. Second time also, you should develop that kind of resignation. ఒకసారి రిజైన్ చేసి మళ్ళా రిజైన్ చేయాలి. Otherwise, you will be tempted back. When once you resign a job, you will not come back to the same job, is it not? Even though the officer asks you to come and rejoin. So like that, I think the Purushaha, what he should do, Brugyaha Atraiva, with the formula, na. And now next sloka I will go, we will understand more the explanation for that. Buddhe chapandi, Buddher Jagaranam.
Buddhir jagaranam.
Swapnaha sushuptihi.
Swapnaha sushuptihi.
Iti vrittayaha.
Ativrittayaha.
Iti. Tayenaivanu bhuyante.
Tayenaivanu
So adhyakshaha purushaha paraha.
So adhyakshaha purushaha paraha. So adhyakshaha purushaha paraha.
It will be clearer to you when we start. And it parasya nirgunasyapi.
Parasya nirgunasyapi.
Gunasangada nirvrutihi.
Gunasamhada nirvrutihi.
Vyaktam janmatyayo vyaktaha.
Vyaktam janmatyayo vyaktaha. Vyaktam Janmatyayo Vyaktaha
Shayanaha anya iha naswataha.
Sayanaha Eha
Shayaneneha
Sayanen
naswataha.
Nasvataha
Yatha graha grasta iva.
Yatha Graha Grahasta Iva
Kvachidha satya.
Kvachidha Satya
Krandanti dhyayati.
Krandan Krandate Dhyayati
Vandate janam.
Vandate Janam
Muhu swasan.
Muhuhu Swasan
Vakti hare jagatpate.
Bhakti Hare Jagatpate
Narayana iti.
Narayanatiti
Atmamatihi.
Atmamatihi
Gatatrapaha.
Gatatrapaha
We are in the department of Vedantam. We are in the department of spirituality. So it takes little harder time for us to construe and attest them as convenient for our understanding. ఈ వేదాంతంలోకి వెళితే తేలదు. And Bhagavatam is a Hamsa Samhita. Hamsa is quoted here because Hamsa is able to find only milk when it is so much merged in the water. So Hamsa is only able to, that's only one bird in the entire birddom. ఈ పక్షి సామ్రాజ్యం లోపల హంస యొక్క ఎబిలిటీ ఏంటంటే ప్రకృతి వృత్తి టు బి ఏబుల్ టు గ్రాబ్ ఓన్లీ మిల్క్ అండ్ దెన్ లీవ్ ది వాటర్. We have not seen, but some of our rishis have seen. Now the swans are extinct, is it not? We don't have swans now. We only see the picture of swan, but not swans. They are extinct. But the vritti of the swan is classical. Now in the 282 sloka, everybody has got buddhi. And that buddhi has got the behavior. What is the behavior of the buddhi? To remain wakeful, jagaranam. And next, it has got to get into the world of dream, swapnam. And the third one is sushupti, absolute silence. And that's exactly what called yoga nidra or nidra saktata. And all these are buddhehe vrittayaha. All these are the behavior means of the buddhi. That is being wakeful, getting into dream, and getting into deep sleep. Ta ye naiva anubhuyante. So adhyaksha purushaha paraha. Now the definition for Brahma is given. Normally, all people go through, have got buddhi. Because people have got buddhi, they have got to go through the nature of the buddhi. Vritti. What is the nature of buddhi amma ante? To be wakeful, to go into stream, to go into sushupti. But if you want to be an elevated being, paraha, purusha is Brahma. We're all Purushas, The Parapurusha is Parabrahma or Brahma. And who is he? He is Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha means supervisor. What is supervisor? He will be watching the vritti or work of all people. And afterwards, he will be able to comment. He is called Adhyaksha. Aksha means I. Adhi means super I. So the super I is the person, Parapurusha, when he would be going through ta eva naiva anubhuyante. He should constantly be in yoga. What is yoga? Meditation. What is meditation? Yoga kallu mooskunte nidrapokuddu. You go to yoga class at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the teacher will say, close your eyes. Opportunity to sleep. Several people do like that. No. You have got to get over these three status when you go into the course of meditation. And when once you are able to go into that type of status, then you are called as Adhyaksha. And but when, how do you get rid of that? Nirvruti means trying to get over the temptations that everybody. Vritti, nirvruti. Vritti is normal behavior. Nirvruti is relief from the behavior. Saraswati is just looking. How is it possible? If 10 people are supposing you are in the company, supposing there are some 10 people smoking, and the smoker's vritti is to keep on smoking, and non-smoker, that is the nirvruti fellow, will go and meet the friends. And supposing he doesn't get tempted for cigarette and matchbox, then he is really a successful person. But supposing he says, oh, let me also try and borrow చేశాడు అనుకోండి, ఒకసారి borrow చేస్తాడు, తర్వాత తానే కొనుక్కుంటాడు. అంటే దే గెట్ ఇన్ టు దట్. కాకుండా గుణ సంఘాత నిర్వృతి. If you are really relieved of the guna sanghata, trying to get influenced by sanghata is also means influence. Because man is always open for influence. So that's true. That's why man is gregarious. He lives always in groups. He wants to learn. He wants to get experienced. And he cannot remain alone. Chala bezarga undandi. Let me go and meet my friend and వెళ్తాం. At that time, friend will be eating food. Hey, చపాతీలు బాగున్నాయి రా, నువ్వు ఒకటి తిను అంటారు. ఆరు దోశలు బాగున్నాయి, ఆరు పాయసం చేసాం వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం. Although you are full, you are tempted to taste that. Is it normally? If not, you are tempted, he will compel you to taste. That's why ఈ నిర్వృతి అనేది మనం మెయింటైన్ చేయాలి. గుణ సంగాద నిర్వృతి. You are trying to overcome the sangada of gunas. And this kind of thing, you will be able to realize vyaktam janmatyayo vyaktaha shayaneha anya iha nasvataha. So it's a really tough, subtle question that there is scope for everybody to become Parapurusha, Parapurusha or Supreme Being. అంటే మానవుల్లో కూడా మెరుగు మానవులు ఉన్నారు కదా. All human beings are not same. You may have the same degree, same MA degree fellow will be a peon, will be a clerk, will be superintendent, and he will be officer. Is it not? The qualification is there, but inner potentialities and talents are nirvrutatvam makes them to be at higher pedestals. Like that, he says that nirgunasyapi parasya gunasangada nirvrutihi. Kabati, when he will be able to get on to the Brahmagati because of that And so he goes on telling how all this speech is by Narada. So Narada ante Naram dadati iti Naradaha. Naram is Gnanam. What kind of Gnanam? Adhyatmik Gnanam. What kind of Gnanam? Reasonable, establishable, and convincing and truthful knowledge. సామాన్యంగా నిజాలు ఎవరు మాట్లాడరు. Nobody will speak the truths. People hide truth and go with the with other things. అందుకోసమే హౌదా నిజమేనా అడుగుతుంటారు కదండి. సపోజింగ్ సంబడి సేస్ సంథింగ్, ఓ అవునా అట్లయిందా నిజమా అని అడుగుతుంటాం. సో దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చనింగ్ ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ టు అసర్టైన్ నా ఇది, టు అసర్టైన్ ది రియాలిటీ అండ్ ట్రూత్. కాబట్టి వీఆర్ జస్ట్ ఎంటరింగ్ ఇన్ టు రియల్ స్పియర్ ఆఫ్ వేదాంత, where we are trying to understand the Brahmagati. We are trying to understand the nature of the Buddhi. And we are trying to understand how you can monitor the Buddhi and try to work up to become Pare Purusha. That's exactly what you call as Atma Yoga. See, Atma Yoga, Atma Ramaha, Atma Sannyasa, Atma Tyaga, all that comes to Atma. And that Atma is operative through your body. Also, Narada tells, so long you are holding the body, you have a plenitude of opportunities. Something like the electric holder. You may put 0-watt bulb or 60-watt bulb or 1000-watt bulb, is it not? According as the power of the wattage of the bulb you put, you get the light. But the holder is Parabrahma. It doesn't, whatever way, however much you want, that much only it will provide you. Is it not? So here, Deha, Atma, Buddhi, and Vritti of the Buddhi, and Nirvritti of the Buddhi. And then, if you are able to get that Nirvritti, you will be in the Brahmagati. We have to contemplate,
Yes.
meditate, think of all these things. Is it not?
Agree with you. Yeah.
Now, so, we are trying to lay the steps. Buddhi, and in Markandeya Maharshi says that Sarvasya Jantoho Buddhi Rasti antadu. చీమకు కూడా బుద్ధి ఉంది, టైగర్ కూడా బుద్ధి ఉంది, లయన్ కూడా బుద్ధి ఉంది. మానవుడి బుద్ధి, even man also buddhi. But man's buddhi is superior because it is able to adopt and flexible and improve. Whereas animal buddhi is there, but it is not. For example, a lion will not hunt a kill unless it is hungry. But man hunts for food even though he is full. Man has not got any kind of discipline, especially with regard to management of hunger. Whether you are hungry or non-hungry, you like to eat, is it not? ఏమో ఆకలి లేదండి, ఇప్పుడు మన ప్లేట్లో పెడితే రుచి చూస్తాం, కంపెల్ చేస్తే తినేస్తాం. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ది నేచర్ ఆఫ్ మ్యాన్. అప్పుడేమవుతుంది, the buddhi which is endowed in us will become, that's why moodhatma antadu. Moodha buddhi vihinaha moodha antadu Shankara. Shankaracharya defines moodha, a fool. Who is a fool? Who does not use his buddhi appropriately is called a fool. అంటే ఈ ఆచార్యులందరూ, all these teachers like Shankara or Vivekananda or Ramakrishna or all these Swamijis, and they are all modern interpreters of Vedantic school. So if you adopt one particular Vedanti guru, you will develop like that. With Chinmaya mission పట్టుకుంటే అదే రీతిలో వెళ్తారు మీరు. రామకృష్ణ ఆర్డర్ వెళ్తే అదే ఆర్డర్లో వెళ్తారు. There are so many orders. and your yogasramas are there. But if you like the order, you get attached to that and you get emancipation. I mean, that's exactly what we are. What is that? So we are always trying to adopt a guru, because Guruhu Brahma, Guruhu Vishnuhu, Guruhu Devo Maheswaraha. When you say Guru is a Brahma, supreme, that Brahma is Vishnu. All time, Guru Buddhi will work in you. My professor said like that. My father did like that. My mother used to do like that. Is it not? So whenever you derive support from these people, that is Guru Buddhi is working with us. And that Guru Buddhi is Vishnutvam, present anywhere, everywhere. It need not be in the house. Even when you are outside your house and with different companies, still that Buddhi will be helping you. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devaha. That is, whenever you use the Guru Buddhi, you become bright, famous. So, Guru Devaha, like that. But here also, Devarshi Narada is a Guru par excellence. He is trying to tell us, beginning from the Janma, Deha, then Atma, then Buddhi, and then Nirvrutti, Buddhi Vrutti, then Nirvrutti for the Buddhi, and then getting into the Brahma Gati. I don't know. This is how I am trying to analyze, to give you the pathway, how best UPS, how best we are able to do it. I think next class you will have some doubts. Okay, we stop here.
నమస్కారం అండి. నమస్కారం అండి. రాజేశ్వర్ మాట్లాడుతున్నాను.
ఎలా ఉన్నారండి మీ అమ్మాయి